Assalamu alaikum dear students, hope you are fine by the grace of Almighty Allah. Welcome to NIEVS Home School. I am Sabrina Hawk, Assistant Teacher of Science, National Ideal English Version School, Day Shift. Dear students, today I am going to take a biology class for class 9 student on the based on chapter 2, and this is our part 4 of that chapter. And in our previous class we already learned about the plant tissue. Today we will learn about the animal tissue and the rest part of the chapter. So let's start our today's topic. Dear students, in our previous class we learned about different types of plant tissue. In our today's class we will learn about the different types of animal tissue, organ and systems. In multicellular animals, many cells together may be involved in a special function arising from the same embryonic cell. When one or more than one type of cells remain in a particular part of the animal body and collectively perform a common function is called tissue. Dear students, this is the definition of tissue. From this part to this part. That is to say, cells of particular tissue are similar as to their origin, function and structure. These three things have to be similar for getting a tissue. The study of different types of tissue is called histology. The difference between tissues and cells are specific. Cell is the structural and functional unit of tissue. For example, red blood corpuscle, white blood corpuscle, platelets and different types of cells. These are called connective tissues. The liquid connective tissues takes part in different physiological processes. In the human body, there are different types of cells which are engaged in different activities. For example, nerve cell spread within the human body and form a network. These cells receive stimuli and send it to the brain and send off impulses from the brain back to the specific organs. Nerve cells in the ear and eye helps in vision and hearing. And due to the lack of different kind of nerve cells, most animal cannot differentiate the exact color and object, unlike human. Many animals can see only at daytime or at night time, but human can see with the help of light in daytime also, in night time also. Muscle cells are used in all activities, for example writing, walking and movement. And we already here discuss about the different types of connective tissue, and now we are coming to the muscle tissue. Three kinds of blood cells are engaged in different activities. Red blood corpuscles absorb oxygen and lung and transport oxygen from the heart to the different cells and the body through arteries and capillaries. White blood corpuscles prevent diseases, and platelets responsible for starting process of blood clotting. As a result, bleeding is to be stopped if there is a wound. Besides providing a cover to the body, integumentary cells perform different functions according to their location. Hair grows from integumentary cells of the head. Sweat is secreted from the sweat glands, and bone cells constitute bones with deposition of minerals and cartilage, which makes structure and support the body. Now we will discuss about different types of animal tissue. On the basis of nature and number of cells and the presence and or absent the intercellular materials or matrix secreted by cell, tissues are divided into four main categories. They are epithelial tissue, connective tissue, then muscular tissue. Now come to first epithelial tissue. This tissue function as the lining of the various organs, but the function of this tissue is not only to provide cover of the organs. There are four more functions, that is protection of underlying tissues, secretion of waste products including protein, absorption of water and nutrients, and transcellular transport of specific materials. These four are the function of tissue. Like the plant cell, dear students, you have to also learn about animal tissue, the structure of the tissue, the function and where they found, and that you have to learn of every kinds of tissue. That means for plant tissue also and for animal tissue also. The cell of epithelial tissue lie closely or side by side on a base membrane based on the side of the cell and the location in the animal body and the nature of work. This tissue is three types. That means based on work, the epithelial tissue is of three types. Come to this picture. Cells of this tissue are flat like scales. That's why this is called squamous epithelial tissue. The nucleus is large and it is the wall of Bowman's capsule of the kidney besides providing cover, it is mainly active in filtration. That means it is found in Bowman's capsules in our kidney. Now come to the next type of tissue based on work, that is cuboidal tissue. The cell of this tissue are cuboidal, that is the length, width and the height of the cell are nearly equal, and the collecting tubules of the kidney, there are found this type of tissue mainly active in transportation and the covering. Now come to the next type of tissue which is based on work's name is columnar tissue. The cells of this tissue are narrow. If you observe, this tissue are narrow and elongated like a column. That's why their name is columnar tissue, and that tissue is found in internal walls of intestines of vertebrates, mainly active in secretion and protection and absorption. Dear students, this work is too much important. Now come to, there is based on the number of cells layers arranged in the based membrane, epithelial tissue are of three types. Now come to first, that is simple epithelial tissue. On the base membrane cell are arranged in a single layer. Example, Bowman's capsule of kidney and kidney tubules, walls of intestine, and there the simple epithelial tissue found. Then stratified epithelial tissue, the cells are arranged on the basement number in the more than one layer. There are some stratified epithelial tissues, layer of which can change in 1 minute. Then this line is too much important. 3 or 4 layers can be turned into 7 or 8 layers in a movement. That is why it is often called transitional epithelial tissue. That is the another name of stratified epithelial tissue. Look, this is the picture of stratified epithelial tissue, and this it can change its layers more in 1 minute, in minutes, and that's why it is called the transitional epithelial tissue also. Now come to the next one, that is pseudo stratified epithelial tissue. This is called pseudo stratified epithelial tissue. The cells of this tissue are arranged in single layer on basement membrane, and these cells are not all of the same height, so this tissue is stratified. If you observe, these cells are small but these cells are large, and that's why they are this tissue is called stratified. This is found in trachea. Example is trachea. Now come to the next type of epithelial tissue. Come to next page. The cell of epithelial tissue are transformed for different functions, such as first one, ciliated epithelial tissue. These are found in the wall of trachea of vertebrate animals. And second one, flagellated epithelial tissue. These are found in flagellated muscular epithelial cells in endodrome of hydra. where they found in endoderm of hydra. Now pseudopodial epithelial tissue, pseudopodial cells in the endoderm of hydra and in the inner membrane cells of vertebrate animal are the example of pseudopodial epithelial tissue. Now come to reproductive tissue. These are specially transformed epithelial tissue which produce sperm and ovum. That means their work is to produce sperm and ovum. Taking part in reproduction, they maintain the continuation of species. Now come to next one, that is granular tissue. Epithelial tissue transformed into granular tissue secretes necessary fluids. The tissue forms the external and internal covering of any organs or tubules. When transformed, this tissue takes part in protection, secretion, absorption, diffusion and transportation. This is the works of granular tissue. Now come to the next one, that is connective tissue. Connective tissue has more matrix compared to the number of cells. That is the main feature of connective tissue. Based on structure and function, the connective tissue are mainly three types. That first one is fibrous connective tissue. This type of connective tissue lies below the body integument and sparsely in muscle. In the matrix, different types of fiber are visible. And second one is skeletal connective tissue. Now the internal structure tissue of the body is called skeletal tissue. The skeletal tissue forms the skeletal system of internal structure of the body, gives the body definite shape and firmness. Then this is the function of skeletal connective tissue. Helps in organ movement and locomotion, protect the soft and sensitive organs of the body. All are the function of the connective tissue. Produce various types of blood corpuscles and forms the surface for the attachment of voluntary muscle. These all are the function of connective tissue. That's why connective tissue is too much important. Look, this is the picture of connective tissue, and there is mast cell, collagen fiber, elastic fiber and fibroblast. Dear student, for biology, the figure is too much important for you. If any question answer is related to any figure, if in the question there is not indicate about the figure, you have to draw that figure. That's why you have to practice all the figure at home, and you have to draw this at home in the short of time. So come to next page, page number 35. Depending on the formation of skeletal tissue are two types. First one cartilage and second one bone. Then cartilage is a kind of flexible skeletal tissue. Its matrix is firm and elastic and the cell contain leukine. Then this is the important line, underline this. The nose and pinna of the ear of human are made of cartilage. Besides that, in the human femur etc., cartilage cover the two ends of the bone, which protects the bone from rubbing. The second one is bone. The bone is hard, fragile and inflexible skeletal connective tissue. That is the definition of bone. But deposition of calcium within the matrix gives its strength. Up to this much, this is the definition of bone. Now come to the next portion, that is the third type of connective tissue, that is fluid connective tissue. We already discussed about this fluid connective tissue in our this class when we start the class. The matrix of the fluid connective tissue is liquid and mobile. Different kinds of organic colloid are soluble in the matrix. The main function of vascular tissue is to maintain circulation in the interior of the body and it plays a special role in protection from diseases, bloods and blood clotting. Fluid connective tissue are of two types. First one blood and second one lymph. Now come to blood. Blood is a type of alkaline, slightly saline, red liquid connective tissue. This is the definition of blood. Following through the arteries, the veins and capillaries, blood takes part in the internal circulation. In warm-blooded animal, it maintains body temperature balance. Blood is formed of two components. First one plasma, second one is blood cell, blood and or blood corpuscles. Plasma is liquid part of the blood and it is yellowish in color. It contains 91 to 92% water and 8 to 9% organic or inorganic materials. The organic substances including various types of blood, protein and waste materials. Blood cells are of three types: red blood corpuscles or erythrocyte, white blood corpuscles WBC or leukocyte and platelets or thrombocyte. The red blood corpuscles contains iron compound called hemoglobin. We are known with hemoglobin in our previous classes. The red color of blood is due to the presence of hemoglobin. Hemoglobin easily mixed with oxygen and form oxyhemoglobin compound which carries oxygen to the different parts of the body. Leukocytes destroy harmful microorganisms and protect the body against diseases. There are various kinds of white blood cell in human body. Thrombocytes take part in blood coagulation or blood clotting. It will be discussed in detail in the 6th chapter. Now come to lymph, and this is the picture of different types of blood cell. This is the red blood cell. The red blood cell do not contain any nucleus. This is the white blood cell and this is the platelets. And red blood cell carry the oxygen as the oxyhemoglobin to our different parts of body through our artery and capillaries, and white blood cell just fight with against the germs, and platelets help for blood clotting. Now come to lymph. A yellowish colored and slightly alkyl liquid stored within the intercellular spaces of human body is called lymph. This is the definition of lymph. This is collected by small ducts and from an interdependent system is called lymphatic system. The lymph contain lymphocyte cells and called lymphoid cell. Now come to the muscular tissue. Growing from the mesoderm of the embryo, the particular types of tissue capable of contracting and expanding to affect movement and tissue forming the muscle of vertebrate animals is called muscular tissue. Dear students, this is the definition of muscular tissue, and there is three types of muscular tissue. First one is voluntary muscular tissue. This is the picture of voluntary muscular tissue. This can be contract or expanded at the will of the animal. That's why this is called voluntary striated muscular tissue. Then the cells of voluntary muscular tissue are tubular. Look, this is tubular and unbranched and have transverse striations. This is generally have more than one nucleus. Look, there is more than one nucleus and have transverse striations, and the muscle can be contract and expand quickly. It is also called marked or skeletal muscle, and we have this type of voluntary muscular tissue in our hand and in our legs. Now come to next one, that is involuntary muscular tissue. The contraction and expansion of this type of muscular tissue does not depend on the will of animal. This muscle tissue is spindle shape. This shape is spindle. See, these two end are pointed. This is a spindle shaped tissue and faintly branched, and transverse stations are not present. That is why the muscle tissue are called unmarked smooth muscle. And it is because we can't control with our will. That's why it is called involuntary muscles, and we got this type of muscle in the intestine and our internal circulation of the body. And come to the last part, that means third types of muscular tissue, that is the cardiac muscle. Look, if you observe these muscles, cardiac muscles looks like voluntary muscles. It is the cells are tubular and there is transverse station. It look like voluntary muscles, but cardiac muscle is work like involuntary muscle. We can't control their movement. Contraction or expansion of heart, we can't control that. It just contract and expand with itself. That's why it is a special type of involuntary muscle, because it looks like voluntary muscle but work like involuntary muscle. Now come to the another type of tissue, that is nerve tissue. Particular types of tissue which forms the nervous system is called nervous tissue. This is the definition of nervous tissue. It consists of numerous neurons. The nerve cells are called neurons. You will learn about this structure in chapter 10. And it receives stimulus from the environment such as heat, touch, pressure, etc. And this is the picture of neuron. A typical neuron has 3 parts. This is the cell body, and this elongated part from the cell body is called dendrite. There is the nucleus, and that elongated part which is formed from the cell body is called axon. And come to this picture. For when you have to draw this neuron, you have to draw this figure like this way. In the picture there is not shown the terminal buttons properly. If you draw, you have to draw this properly. In the terminal buttons you have to show this. This is the terminal buttons, and this terminal buttons helps to send the stimulation from one neuron to another neuron, and they, with the help of the synapse. See, look, this is another neuron's cell body, and there is the gap. This space is called synapse. In the synapse there is some chemical and some ions of the chemicals. This ion is moved freely, and with the help of this ion the neurons send the stimuli from one neurons to another neurons. This is the axon of that neuron, and this part is called myelin sheath, and this gaps is called the node of Ranvier, and this is the nucleus. This part is cell body, and the elongated part from the cell body, that is called dendrite. Now come to the next page, page number 38. The cytoplasm of the cell contains mitochondria, ribosome, Golgi body, endoplasmic reticulum, etc. But there is no active centriole in the cytoplasm of neuron. We know centriole makes the spindle fibers when the cell is divided. They don't have centriole, that's why the neuron can't be divided. So neuron cannot divide. Cell body is surrounded by many small prolongated part is called dendron, and the branches of dendron is called dendrite. Dendrite is one or more than in number. From the cell body of neuron, a long nerve fiber emerged which is attached to the dendrite of neuron. This is called axon. A neuron has only one axon. Between adjoining neurons, a bridge is formed by by the union of axon of the neuron with the dendrite of another, and this is called synapse. Through the synapse, nerve stimuli from one neuron to are transmitted to the next neuron. Nerves, tissues receive stimulus and transmit to the brain. And there is the next lesson, organ and system, and we already discussed some organs in our previous class, and in this class, in the next chapter, we will discuss the rest organs which are introduced here. Come to the picture first. Here this is the digestive system, that means a part of the animal body formed by the combination of one or more than one types of tissue performing a particular function is called organ, and that is to say, in any organ there may be one or more than one types of tissue, and that organ perform a particular function that is discussed in the morphology parts of the biology. Now come to the picture. This is the picture of digestive system, which is start from the mouth cavity, and this is the esophagus, then the liver, stomach and rectum, and last one is anus. This is the entry point and this is the exit point. We already discussed about the digestive system in our class 7 science book. Now come to the respiratory organ, and this is helps for respire in the human body. It is consist of nasal apparatus. From the nose it start nasal apparatus, then pharynx, larynx, trachea. Here is only given trachea, but here also pharynx, larynx, trachea, then bronchus, bronchioles, alveoli and a pair of lungs. And this is the diaphragm, which is shows. These all are included in the respiratory system, and this system uses oxygen taken from the environment and in the produce energy by the oxidation of food present in the body cells. The energy helps in doing daily works. Now come to the integumentary system. Then the membrane covering the body from outside is called integument or skin. The system this system covers the body and protects the body from the external injury or attacks of attacks of harmful microbes. It also controls the movement of various materials through outside and inside of the body. It also protects the liquid parts inside the body. Look, in integumentary system, the skin, hair and nail are included in our integumentary system. Come to the next one, excretory system. In the excretory system, due to the various physiological metabolic reactions, some nitrogenous waste materials are produced within the body as byproduct. These materials are generally toxic to the body, need to remove, and this process of removing unnecessary and nitrogenous waste materials from the body is called excretion. This system through which the excretion performed is called excretory system. The excretory system of human consists of two pairs of kidney. Looks, there is two pairs of kidney, then a pair of urinary ducts, urinary bladder and urethra. This is the urinary bladder and this is the urethra, the exit point of the urine. Now come to the next one, that is the nervous system. And the function of this system is to receive external and internal stimuli of the body and to create appropriate sensation. The nervous system is made up of brain, the spinal cord and cranial nerves, and the spinal nerves. The nervous system has also a part named the autonomous nervous system. This part is of the nervous system controls the involuntary action of the body. We already learned about the reflex action system in our class 8 science book. Now come to the endocrine system. There are a few ductless and endocrine glands within the bodies of animals. These produce hormones and have no ducts for transportation. Only blood carries the hormones from one place to another. The endocrine system is made up of endocrine glands such as pituitary, thyroid, parathyroid, islets and islets of Langerhans of pancreas, and look, this is the pituitary gland. It is indicated the back side of our ear, and this is the thyroid gland. It is located in our neck, and just beneath of thyroid gland there is the parathyroid gland. Is in our kidney there is adrenal gland, and this is the pancreas. Then islets of Langerhans is located in pancreas, and there is the testis, and this part is located, that pregnancy, that will be ovum. Dear students, that will be ovum. And this all included in our endocrine system. Dear students, I have finished my today's topic. This is your homework number 9. You have to write these 5 question answer as your homework, and these all are knowledge based question from today's topic. First question, how many kinds of epithelial tissue found in animal cells? What are they? And second one is, how many kinds of connective tissue found in animals? Dear students, there is several kinds of connective tissue. You have to write all the types of connective tissue and all the types of epithelial tissue also. What are they? And come to next one, how many kinds of muscular tissue found in animals? What are they? And next one, question number 4 is, draw a neuron and label it. You have to draw a neuron and you have to label the neuron, and you have to draw by following this picture. And last question answer, what is limbs? And you have to submit this SW on Saturday from 9 am to 3 pm. Dear students, I have finished my today's topic. There is a part of microscope when we will conduct our practical class. That time we will continue that part of second chapter. So do the SW, learn the chapter properly. This chapter is too much important for you, and submit the SW regularly. Thank you. Allah Hafiz.